I'm not entirely sure what I'm making here, but what I do know is that at the moment it's far too miserable. It needs some more colour going on. I've just mixed up some last minute glazes, a darker blue and sort of the skin tone I'm going for. I've also added some drawings in pencil, which I'll talk about in a minute. But I've also mixed up some just flat paint, not my medium, not my glaze. And I'm gonna just apply this in some various parts, not all over, but in various parts, just to give it some undertone, so that it's not gonna all the colours aren't going to be reacting with the plain white. There is going to be some undertones there. I've added just some pencil drawings onto it, just to roughen up that surface a bit more. And I am going to add some words as well, to go with the sort of biography of this piece, Duckhead. So I'm going to add some swear words onto him, just to get the angst out and to give it some more connection to the meaning that I'm going for. This guy is currently still drying over here. This base, which is still wet, the darker colour, is entirely clay, whereas this was on a paper armature, so it's slightly thicker down there. But I have been doing a lot of work with this bust. I've put some wallpaper on the insides. I need to put it on the top there as well. And I'm going to neaten up these edges. I'm going to glue them down, then cover them with like a layer of clay or putty of some kind. And then I'm going to put a bar down the middle here so that it doesn't look so wonky. And obviously I've got the furniture inside there as well. I think I've decided that this arm probably needs to be rectangular like this other side, or have another bookrest, sorry, because it just isn't working for me right now. I wanted this sculpture to be like a exploration of the different ways I could sculpt. So this front half, that's clay. But back here is shredded paper, so put it in the shredder, mixed with water to make it mushy, pulled apart with my fingers, and then mixed with PVA glue, and then I sort of moulded that into the basic shape I wanted. I've got some colour added to the surface now, so it's time to add the glazes. The first thing I have done is add this white glaze, just to dull the colours a bit, which might seem a bit counterintuitive, but also to allow some of the other colours I'm going to put on to bleed and react in interesting ways. So you're going to want to get a cup, add some PVA glue and a small amount of your acrylic paint. You're going to want to get a brush you don't mind getting screwed up and mix it with that. Then you're going to get your sculpture, and you're going to find a slightly nicer brush, and you're going to apply it thinly with that, and then you're done. So I went crazy on the bright colours. And this is what I've come out with. Some interesting drips. And I'm going to let this dry. And then I'm going to go over it in the white glaze again to dim the colours. And then finally do the details like the eyes, the eyebrows, possibly fix up this mouth. And then I'm going to go over it in just a clean glaze after it's all dry, just to make sure it's nice and shiny. We've got the first layer of glaze on. Still looking a bit strange, but I trust the process and I see potential. Just letting these drip and bleed into each other. Some areas that I need to reprime. Trying to get some brightness in with that yellow. Sort of trying to make it more surreal by blurring the actual colours of the skin with the fake colours of, I think this could be a jacket or something. So I've neatened up the work a bit more now. I've added some more drips, I've added some more colour, this big area of red and yellow to brighten it up. It's looking a lot less miserable now. I'm currently adding more wallpaper to the ceiling here to make sure that it's all getting to the stage of being neat. I've also added some of this horrible stuff, glitter. It's a bit hazy now, but that's because I've just put glue on top of it, and it will dry clear. And it's just to give it that sort of childish sheen, magical element to it. And I've added some fabrics as well, which I'll show you. So this is the back of the work. I've got this piece here, like a sun, dead centre of the back, and I've scrunched up some newspaper to make the mould for this area here with some of this just spare fabric I've had lying around, spare fake furs. And I've used this to build up an area of sort of shoulder, and also to bring out this area of the bust, which I thought needed to be more vertical, like this side. And then I just wanted to also make sure that the drips are running back down this side as well, so it's not just the front, because obviously it's going to be seen in 3 dimensions. And if I'm honest, I am quite liking how some of the newspaper is shining through. I quite like that. Well, I think it's about time that we start painting this sculpture. Very pleased with it because it actually stands up on its own, which is always a bonus for, a freestanding 3D work. It's a bit duplicitous in my mind because it looks like it should be really, really top heavy with this massive crown at the back, but actually it supports itself really well. I think this area down here is still a bit wet because it's quite cold compared to up here, but I think it'll be fine. It can dry, so I'm gonna do the same process, prime it with white, and then put a few skin colours on, and then see what glaze is cool to me. So this is where we're at the moment. A few things happened after last night. I glazed it a couple of times. I decided just to go with the skin tone, and also this little blue wash on the cheeks. And sort of, it bleeds down into the neck, and, well, actually it's all over the face, but it's mainly in the cheeks. Also to put some glitter there, so they're all pretty. I've added this drip glaze that's supposed to look like blood, and it did end up dripping down here, but I ended up smoothing that around so that it gave it some more tone, which I'm quite pleased with. And we'll have a look at the other side. And currently the plan is to try and attach this two pieces of wire that I've threaded around each other, attach that at the back as a sort of thorny crown, because while I was working I thought these blood drips kind of look like Jesus, because he's got the crown on, he's dripping blood. Why not add a thorny crown around it as well? So that's what I'm going to do. Well, here we are, living proof that with enough determination and free time, you can make some, if not great, then okay art. I am very pleased with the way that these came out, and honestly, I can't wait to make more. I love working with clay and found objects, and I think that these are really great pieces. I am starting to see themes emerge, maybe about like childhood or innocence, but of course, I still see my usual fondness of surreal and absurdity as well. So, if you like them, then follow me on YouTube and Instagram for more. And if you don't like them, well, then you probably haven't made it this far. But if you have and you still don't like them, then follow me anyway because it would really help. I am currently, and always will be, Blue Monster, and I will see you in the next one.